Hello, my name is Sheridan Adams.
And Sheridan, you played paintball in the Southern California area around the late 80s, early 90s?
Yes, I played mostly at Fields of Honor, some at Fields of Fury, up north of Simi Valley.
Yeah.
And then there's a small field that we play on locally in Simi Valley, at least at the time, recently, and I played there with just one or two friends at a time, and then also with big groups called the Dice Field.
The Dice Field.
And it's basically between Simi Valley and Moore Park. Mm-hmm. There's kind of this wash and a creek and a lot of bamboo, and it's a fun place to play, but there's no referees, there's no chrono, there's no nothing.
Just an outlaw field.
It's an outlaw field, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah, well, everybody's gonna know about it now, but there's actually there's a commercial field around there now that everyone plays at called Ambush. You played all around Simi Valley, and how did you first get into paintball?
I had several friends that had played a lot of paintball in the past, and they were talking about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun, we should go do that. And they're like, oh, no, you don't want to play because it's not like it used to be, and people cheat and all this kind of stuff. So we eventually did go play.
And so you went into you were telling me that you went into a store, and do you remember the store and what happened and how you ended up buying a paintball marker?
Yeah, we went to some place in San Fernando Valley, and I liked the feeling of this PMI Sheridan, and of course I liked it because my name is Sheridan, and so I ended up buying it, and later my friend was like, you weren't supposed to buy anything, we were just looking at stuff. So anyway.
Cool. And so you went out and you started playing with that, and you mentioned a few of your friends' names, and you said that some of them were associated with the team Mafia?
They were after I started playing with Mafia a lot, they joined Mafia, but they played for other paintball teams before that. So my friend Eddie Xavier Gomez played a lot in the old days, and Otis Van Austin.
Cool. And you also mentioned Gilly?
Yeah, if I believe it's the same guy. He used to ref at Fields of Honor, and we became friends when I was playing out there.
Yeah, and he was also associated with Mafia.
Yeah, I have a Mafia patch.
Oh, you do? Awesome. Why didn't you bring that for me?
Well, because I didn't want to sell it.
Cool. So you ended up getting your VM68 Magnum, and you know, how did it fare against some of the other markers of the time?
I played with it a lot, and I didn't really like the way that basically it's like hitting two hammers together when you have
a lot of recoil.
That back expansion chamber and the front one, and it seemed to go through gas pretty fast. And at Fields of Honor at that time, when we would play, just a game or two before lunch would be what they call football, where you're trying to get your flag over to the other side's, kind of like Red Rover, instead of retrieving the flag and bringing it back. And so more often than not, my gun would run out of gas. I would stuff it in a tree somewhere, get the flag and book it, and we'd usually win, but I didn't have any gas.
So you were thinking like, hey, what can I do to make this a little bit more efficient? And so you went into your local shop, which was?
Well, around the time when we started playing, Peter was starting ANS Paintball in Simi Valley, and basically ANS, Army Navy Supply. I was like, never really would have bothered to stop in there or whatever because it didn't seem like the kind of store that we'd be interested in. But one of my friends had gotten something in the mail or whatever, and he was like, well, let's go check this place out and see if we can get balls there cheap or get a good price. And so we went in and met Peter and became friends with him, and I was playing a lot at the time. I think I even played for his team in a tournament one time at the other field of Fields of Honor, the smaller field that was off of a dirt road.
Yeah, so that might have been the field that took over Southern Comfort.
Okay, it was the field that the people that owned Fields of Honor actually owned the property, it wasn't like public land.
Gotcha. So you went in and you saw Peter's shop, Army Navy Supplies, which is ANS, and ANS is a pretty well-known paintball brand and store now, but at the time it was just an Army Navy supply store.
He was selling tents and knives and camping supplies. And
so you went in there, you took your VM68 Magnum in there, and did you ask him, or what happened?
Over time, as we became friends, I was like, hey, is there anything I can do to upgrade this thing or do something, because I heard people in the shop getting their cockers and stuff fixed up and stuff. And he was like, oh, well, there's a lot of older stuff people have done that we can do. And so we lightened the bolt, and we tried certain configurations of where the tank would go and stuff. And some of those didn't really work that well, and so finally we ended up with the configuration that we have, where the
let's see it.
The feed for the
so
tank.
You can hold it right here and hold it in the trunk so nobody in Hollywood here starts yelling at us.
Yeah. So we have this pistol grip, and then the gas actually comes into this.
It has a bottom line.
Line feed, and then that goes into the 3-chamber expansion chamber that ANS makes.
Cool. And you have your hammer right here. This is the most noticeable thing. That's what I noticed in your Craigslist ad, and that's actually something that Sergey at Technical Troubleshooting in Lapco was doing for ANS at the time and for other people's customers at the time. So that's really cool to see. And with that modification, the actual recoil on your VM68, flip it over, let's see the other side. The actual recoil on your 68 Magnum would be so much less. So that's awesome. Very cool. So you have your sling on there too.
Yeah, this is a modification that I'm assuming he did too. They did it with ANS.
Awesome.
And that's great for like the night games they used to have at.
Here, you can set it down.
Yeah, the night games they used to have up there at Fields of Honor. There's a big gully right by the parking lot, and the one time I was there, that was within play, and it was just getting dark, and I was thinking, well, can we really go down that gully? Because if we book it up that thing real fast, we're gonna get well behind the enemy lines before they even know it. So me and a couple guys were doing it. A lot of people chickened out. There was one guy that followed me up there. It got dark. We came up over the hill and just started opening up on everybody. And they thought there must be some mistake, because why would these people be shooting us back here?
Backdooring.
So anyway, some fun, all kinds of stories.
So how did your sling factor into that?
I like it a lot for that field particularly, because there's a lot of places where you might jump over a bush and then go down a ravine, or you've got some other slick places, and
so you can keep your hands free.
You can climb and maneuver and get places you need to go with your hands and not have to worry about holding your gun.
Awesome. So Sheridan, when do you think the last time you played was?
Probably about 5 years ago at the dice field.
At the dice field. Cool. Awesome. And so you had a lot of fun memories playing paintball. You played with Mafia, you played at Fields of Honor, you met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and have some fantastic stories. So thank you so much for sharing those, and thanks a lot for the VM68 Magnum.
Yep, no problem. Enjoy.
Awesome.